Hello, everyone. This is Big Alski.
And this is JTB.
And this is Chapter 5, the Rachel chapter of Alhazard's Ninja Gaiden Sigma Hard Karma Run. A lot of people didn't like Rachel. I actually did. I thought it brought something a little bit different. Plus, she's always nice to look at.
I thought she was cool in this game. I think this is like the one example of where they introduced a new character that worked. I thought I haven't like touched on them much in Sigma 2, but I thought like the additional characters in Sigma 2 like were just really not fun to use compared to Ryu. Whereas like Rachel has some abilities that I kind of wish Ryu had. Like her movement is very similar, like the roll, even though she doesn't roll, like she does like a flip. But the roll jumping is the same, like on landing jumping is all the same, like your on landing UTs are the same. But the main thing I like about Rachel is like her evade mechanic. It's pretty interesting, and you'll see it a bit throughout this video. And it's the main way that she differs in kind of functionality in terms of Ryu. If you roll next to an enemy as Rachel, she'll do like a kind of handstand flip over the enemy, and then that will stun the enemy, which will set you up for a follow-up attack. You can either use that to do UTs, which is the main reason it's used, or you can hold Y when you flip over them. Yeah, just like there. And she'll actually like hold the Warhammer like on the enemy and like pull it through them. And if they're have low enough health, that'll cut their head off. And that just looks awesome.
Yeah, that's an awesome move.
Yeah, and she also has her forward YY with the Warhammer. I don't think we'll actually see it in this video, but that's kind of another one of the throws she has. Like the second hit will like impale the enemy, and then she can like throw them down to the floor and follow up with a Fiend Sealer. And doing that on the red dragon enemies it just looks so badass. Like it makes Rachel look more badass than Ryu. Like it just looks awesome.
He runs straight like I do. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I remember Weevil got so mad. I was like, "Oh, can't you go straight, man? Come on now."
So one thing to note as well, he would have gone back and saved at the point before this to get the fight to respawn, I think, and also to get the essence for the basically the Celerity armor equivalent. I think Rachel has earrings because obviously. But yeah, that's something you're definitely going to want to get. Worst case scenario, you could get them after this fight, like you'll definitely get the essence after this fight for the earrings, but ideally you're going to want them before that fight, as it does make getting more UTs much easier. I always liked her UT animation too.
I noticed he hasn't pressed the, what is it, the equivalent of the B button to kind of knock him back, like the shuriken, her whip, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's not as useful with Rachel. I don't think. It's got a pretty bad knockback animation. It does take a while. One also thing to note as well, real quick, is that Rachel obviously can't wall run in the same way that Ryu does. She can do like the the step wall jump, but she can't actually continue on the walls.
Well, in that tight suit, I imagine she would. It'd be tough. Now he just got through doing the Fiend challenge, and that is. Where is that?
Go through the monastery, like where the little bridgeway is with the bats, and it's like through that bit where like the opposite side of the Hydrocubus wall. That's where it is.
And then again, 80 enemies, and you actually want to, I guess just do it inside the archway and make them come up to you, and you have time to get your 80 or your 50 UTs with the 80 enemies.
Yeah, you could probably thinking off the top of my head, I'd probably get like half of my UTs in that area on like single enemies, and then just go out and fight it. It'd be easier.
And that's something else too to really add the score up is to, if everybody's going to get the 50 UTs, but it's who can do it in the faster time to get those extra points.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big thing in Fiend challenges, like getting down the perfect pattern and the perfect strategy to really kind of just blast through them. Like that's the big difference in the score.
So he snuck in an extra UT here. Smart.
Yeah, that will as long as you have Celerity equipped, and you do the flip over a man-sized enemy, and you have an essence, you'll always have enough time to charge to a UT. So
I believe that's it for this chapter. The time limit is 15 minutes. The kills is 49, but obviously to get your 100,000, but you still got the Fiend challenge they didn't account for, which is very irritating. Again, another oversight.